From Airi Sato's killing caught live in Tokyo, to Reeflay accidentally broadcasting his girlfriend's death during a brutal stream.
Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвый, блядь, Валь. Заяц, ну ты чего? Валя. Валь, блядь, ну не смеши, не... Валя, блядь.
And Peyton Gendron turning Twitch into a stage for mass murder.
A shooter, a mass shooter type shit. Hey, look at it here, a young boy.
In this video, we're looking at 13 Chilling Times live streams accidentally exposed murders in real time. Airi Sato. On the morning of March 11, 2025, the bustling Takadanobaba district of Tokyo became the scene of a horrific crime that would shock Japan and the global streaming community. Airi Sato, known online as Mogami II, was a 22-year-old live streamer who had built a following of over 2,600 viewers on the Japanese platform WhoWatch. What began as an ordinary Soto Haishin or outdoor streaming session would end in unimaginable tragedy. Sato was known for her charm and conversational style, often streaming her daily activities as she explored Tokyo's sprawling urban landscape. Her content focused on in-real-life streaming, taking viewers along as she walked around the city, visited bars, or engaged with other content creators. Her stream that fatal morning was titled A Walk Around the Yamanori Line, promising viewers a virtual tour of Tokyo's major train stations. But lurking in the digital shadows was 42-year-old Kenichi Takano from Oyama, Tochigi Prefecture, who had been following Sato since December 2021. Their relationship extended far beyond the typical streamer-viewer dynamic. Over the course of their relationship, Takano had lent Sato approximately 2.5 million yen, around $17,000, in 13 installments starting in September 2022. When Sato failed to repay the money, Takano sued her in August 2023, winning a court order for repayment. However, Sato reportedly evaded repayment, and authorities struggled to locate her after the ruling. On that fateful morning, Takano had seen Sato's announcement of her streaming schedule the previous day and traveled from Oyama to Tokyo. By watching her live video, he was able to identify her exact location based on recognizable buildings in the background, a terrifying example of how real-time streaming can expose creators to deadly stalking. At approximately 9:50 a.m., as Sato was walking near JR Takadanobaba Station broadcasting to over 6,000 viewers, Takano approached her without warning. Armed with a survival knife approximately 13 centimeters long that he had purchased 2 to 3 months prior, Takano attacked Sato with shocking brutality. The assault was captured on the live stream, with the viewers hearing Sato scream "help" for approximately 15 seconds before the stream went dark. Emergency sirens could be heard in the background as Takano stabbed Sato over 30 times in the head, neck, chest, and stomach. The Tokyo Metropolitan Police Department received an emergency call at 9:55 a.m. and arrested Takano at the scene, where they recovered 2 knives, one blood-covered at his feet and another in his backpack. Sato was rushed to a hospital but succumbed to her injuries, with an autopsy revealing a neck wound as the fatal blow. Takano later told investigators he couldn't accept that Sato was making money from streaming while owing me money, and believed that the world would know what she had done if I created an incident and a trial was held. Rodney and Tanisha Finley. The neon-lit streets of Las Vegas, a city built on entertainment and spectacle, became the backdrop for a deadly confrontation that would expose the dark underbelly of YouTube rivalry. On June 8, 2024, at approximately 10:40 p.m., Rodney Finley, 44, known online as Finny the Legend, and his wife Tanisha Finley, 43, known as Bubbly, were fatally shot during a YouTube live stream near the iconic Bellagio fountains. The Finleys were a married couple from Arizona with 4 children, known for their YouTube channel where Rodney had approximately 6,000 subscribers. Their content often focused on Las Vegas culture and personal vlogs, with Tanisha occasionally appearing alongside her husband in their videos. What should have been another ordinary evening of content creation would instead become their final moments, broadcast live to their audience. The man who would end their lives was Manuel Manny Ruiz, 41, known online as Sin City Manny or Sin City Mannywise, also a Las Vegas-based YouTuber. The deadly confrontation was the culmination of a bitter feud that had been brewing since late 2023, sparked by what began as a seemingly minor incident involving pepper spray.
The suspect and the victim had previously engaged in some type of conflict using a variety of social media platforms.
The conflict intensified when Ruiz allegedly used YouTube's copyright strike system to target some of Finley's content, preventing him from monetizing certain videos. This digital warfare escalated beyond the confines of computer screens when a previous physical altercation between Ruiz and Finley resulted in Ruiz being cited for battery, with a court date scheduled for June 12, 2025, just 4 days after the shooting. The hatred between the two men was palpable in their online interactions. The feud was well documented across their respective channels, with both parties exchanging verbal threats and insults that their online communities could witness. On June 7, 2025, just 1 day before the shooting, Ruiz posted a video appearing to search for Finley on the Las Vegas Strip, making veiled threats and stating that Finley would not go unnoticed. On that fatal June evening, both parties found themselves in the same location near the Bellagio Fountains, a popular tourist destination known for its spectacular water shows. The Finleys were live streaming on their YouTube channel, capturing the vibrant atmosphere of the Strip when Ruiz appeared in their broadcast. According to witness accounts, Tanisha was dancing in his face, which Ruiz later claimed provoked him. What happened next was captured in horrifying detail on the live stream. Ruiz pulled a 9mm firearm from his waistband and fired 5 to 6 shots at Rodney Finley, who was out of the camera's frame. Tanisha grabbed the phone, and 1 or 2 additional shots were heard, causing the phone to fall to the ground.
The officers immediately ran towards that gunfire, and they found 2 victims who were laying on the sidewalk, suffering from apparent gunshot wounds.
The live stream continued until a police officer arrived and turned off the camera, but not before capturing the chaos and panic that erupted in one of Las Vegas's most famous tourist locations.
Our officers rendered medical aid to both victims, but their efforts to save those victims' lives were unsuccessful.
Both Rodney and Tanisha Finley were pronounced dead at the scene, victims of multiple gunshot wounds. Ruiz surrendered to Henderson Police on June 9, 2025, and was interviewed by the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department, where he claimed he acted in self-defense. Ruiz alleged that Rodney Finley reached for something in his waistband, which he believed was a weapon, and that Tanisha was holding a shiny black object that he mistook for a gun. However, police investigations contradicted these claims, as no firearms or weapons were recovered from the Finleys or the crime scene.
You were arrested for 2 counts of open murder with use of a deadly weapon. The court did find probable cause existed for your arrest. You need to hear from the district attorney's office today, and then hear from the public defender.
Clark County District Attorney Steve Wolfson definitively stated, "There's no indication from any of the evidence at all that self-defense would be a viable defense." Ruiz was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder with a deadly weapon, and prosecutors indicated that the case was under review by the Death Penalty Committee. Nermin Sulejmanovic. The small town of Gradačak in northeastern Bosnia and Herzegovina became the epicenter of a horrific crime that would shock the nation and spark widespread protests about gender-based violence. On August 11, 2023, Nermin Sulejmanovic, a 35-year-old bodybuilder and known criminal, would turn Instagram into a platform for murder, broadcasting his killing spree to approximately 12,000 viewers. Sulejmanovic had a documented history of violence and was a member of a criminal gang with prior arrests for domestic violence, drug trafficking, and illegal weapons possession. His victim was his ex-wife, Nizama Hasimovic, who had repeatedly sought protection from authorities due to his abusive behavior. Despite filing multiple complaints for domestic violence, Hasimovic received inadequate protection from law enforcement, allowing Sulejmanovic to remain free and continue his harassment. At approximately 10 a.m. on August 11th, Sulejmanovic began an Instagram live stream from his home announcing to viewers, "You're going to see a live murder," before brutally beating and shooting Nizama Hasimovic point blank in front of their child. The graphic footage was watched by thousands of people before being removed by authorities, but the horror was far from over. After killing Hasimovic, Sulejmanovic fled and continued his rampage, posting additional videos on Instagram where he admitted to killing 2 more individuals, a father and son identified as Zengiz Saban and Dennis Saban, in the town center near the municipal building. He also wounded 3 others, a police officer, a man, and a woman, at various locations throughout Gradačak. The Tuzla Canton Ministry of Internal Affairs launched a massive manhunt, blocking all roads in and out of Gradačak and deploying special police units. After several hours of searching, police located Sulejmanovic in a vehicle on the outskirts of the town, but before he could be apprehended, he died by suicide using a firearm. Peyton Gendron. The quiet Saturday afternoon shopping routine at a Tops Friendly Market supermarket in Buffalo, New York was shattered on May 14, 2022, when an 18-year-old white supremacist turned a grocery store into a battlefield, live streaming his racially motivated massacre on Twitch. Peyton S. Gendron arrived at the supermarket located at 1275 Jefferson Avenue in Buffalo's East Side, a predominantly black neighborhood, at approximately 2:30 p.m. EDT, armed with military-style equipment and fueled by racist ideology. Gendron, from Conklin, New York, approximately 200 miles southeast of Buffalo, had recently graduated from Susquehanna Valley High School and was briefly enrolled in an engineering science program at SUNY Broome. community college. Described by classmates as quiet and idiosyncratic, Gendron had exhibited concerning behaviors, including wearing a hazmat suit to school. What his peers didn't know was that behind this odd exterior, Gendron was being radicalized by white supremacist content online. His actions were driven by adherence to the Great Replacement and white genocide conspiracy theories, which falsely claimed that white populations are being systematically replaced by non-white immigrants. Gendron detailed these twisted beliefs in a 180-page manifesto posted online, drawing inspiration from other white supremacist attackers, including the 2019 Christchurch mosque shooter in New Zealand and the 2015 Charleston church shooter, Dylan Roof.
A shooter, a mass shooter type shit. Hey, look at it here, young boy.
The supermarket Gendron chose was no accident. It was the only grocery store in the East Side neighborhood, serving a predominantly black community about 3 miles north of downtown Buffalo. The store had opened in 2003 specifically to address food access issues in the area, making it a vital community resource.
They said somebody inside the store got shot too. I heard that. I heard that the pharmacist came out. She had blood covered all over her.
Well, I would imagine so, because he went in shooting.
Oh, he went in the store to shoot
He
too.
went in the store shooting. He shot outside the store, and he shot inside the store. I heard at least 20 shots in store. He put the gun to his chin, and then he dropped it from his chin. He took his gloves off, and then he took something and put it on his boots. Then he took his vest off, and then he got on his hands and knees. And then he got down, he put his hands behind his back, and then they arrested him.
Gendron came prepared for war, wearing body armor, a military helmet, and most chillingly, a helmet-mounted camera to live stream the attack on Twitch. He was armed with a Bushmaster XM15 AR-15 style rifle that had been illegally modified to accept high-capacity magazines. Additional weapons, a .30 06 Savage Axis XP bolt-action rifle, and a Mossberg 500 pump-action shotgun were left in his car, unused but ready if needed. The attack began in the parking lot, where Gendron shot 4 individuals, killing 3, as shocked witnesses reported hearing rapid gunfire. One witness, Catherine Crofton, described the horrifying scene of seeing a woman shot while entering the store and another while loading groceries. Moving inside the supermarket, Gendron continued his rampage, shooting 8 more people and killing 6. Among those inside was Aaron Salter Jr., a 55-year-old retired Buffalo police lieutenant working as a security guard, who heroically confronted Gendron, firing multiple shots that struck his body armor. Salter was killed when Gendron returned fire, but his brave actions likely saved other lives. Throughout the assault, Gendron fired a total of 60 rounds, deliberately targeting black individuals. In a chilling demonstration of his racist intent, Gendron aimed at a white store manager hiding behind a checkout counter but apologized and spared them, clearly indicating his targeting was based on race. The live stream on Twitch broadcast the violence for approximately 2 minutes before the platform shut down the stream. Buffalo police received a shots fired call at 2:31 p.m. and arrived within a minute, with a dispatcher declaring an active shooter situation by 2:34 p.m. By 2:36 p.m., officers had convinced Gendron to drop his weapon and surrender after he briefly held his rifle to his neck. The attack resulted in 10 black individuals dead and 3 others injured, with 11 of the 13 total victims being black. The victims ranged in age from 32 to 86 years old, including Ruth Whitfield, 86, who was the mother of retired Buffalo Fire Commissioner Garnell Whitfield and described as a mother to the motherless.
We have suffered a mass shooting with multiple casualties and several people injured. This is the worst nightmare that any community can face.
And to see that sense of security shattered by an individual, a white supremacist who has engaged in an act of terrorism and will be prosecuted as such, in a cold-hearted, cruel, calculating way. A military-style execution targeting people who simply want to buy groceries in a neighborhood store. It strikes us in our very hearts to know that there's such evil that lurks out there.
On November 28, 2022, Gendron pleaded guilty to 15 state charges, including domestic terrorism motivated by hate, 10 counts of first-degree murder, and 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder. On February 15th, 2023, he was sentenced to 11 concurrent life sentences without parole plus 90 years. He still faces federal charges with the possibility of the death penalty. Slime. The streets of Philadelphia's Kensington neighborhood, already notorious for crime and drug activity, became the unlikely stage for another live-streamed incident when a kick streamer known as Slime inadvertently captured a shooting on June 14, 2023. At approximately 4:55 p.m. EDT, gunfire erupted at the intersection of Kensington and Frankford Avenues while Slime was broadcasting from the street. Kensington, a neighborhood in North Philadelphia, is known for its challenges with poverty, drug addiction, and violent crime, with the intersection of Kensington and Frankford Avenues being a busy area often associated with open-air drug markets and frequent police activity. Slime was reportedly known for street-based content, capturing daily life in Philadelphia's tougher neighborhoods on the platform Kick, a relatively new streaming service launched in 2022 as a competitor to Twitch. When the shots were fired, the live stream captured the sound of gunfire, followed by Slime reacting to the incident, reportedly exclaiming, "Oh shit," as he moved away from the danger. The footage showed bystanders scattering, with one person heard yelling, "Get out of here," as panic spread through the crowded intersection. Philadelphia police recovered 6 spent shell casings at the scene, indicating multiple shots were fired, though fortunately, no injuries were reported. The lack of injuries was described as fortunate, given the crowded nature of the intersection during the daytime shooting. Officers from the Philadelphia Police Department responded swiftly, detaining an 18-year-old man and a 14-year-old boy in connection with the incident. Chief Inspector Scott Small noted that the motive for the shooting was unclear, with possibilities including intentional targeting or stray gunfire. The incident occurred during a violent period in Philadelphia as the city was grappling with a persistent gun violence epidemic. By July 2023, over 900 people had been shot in the city, though this represented a 20% decrease from the previous year. The accidental capture of violence on the live stream highlighted both the pervasive nature of gun violence in certain neighborhoods and the growing role of streaming platforms in documenting real-time urban incidents. Mazinha. The bustling metropolitan area of Sao Paulo, Brazil's largest city, became the scene of a horrific femicide when Mariana de Almeida Lemos, a 22-year-old Twitch streamer known as Mazinha, was shot and killed by her stalker, Gabriel de Almeida Coelho, age 25, on March 15, 2023. The murder took place at approximately 1 a.m. BRT in her apartment in Vila Jaguara, a neighborhood in the western zone of Sao Paulo, and was inadvertently captured during a Twitch livestream. Lemos, known online as Mazinha, was known for streaming gaming content, including titles like Valorant, and had built a modest following with her engaging personality. She lived alone in her apartment and had been dealing with harassment from Coelho for months prior to the incident. Unlike typical cases of parasocial relationships, Coelho had met Lemos in person multiple times, including at least one meetup before the murder, and lived in the same neighborhood, which facilitated his ability to stalk her. Coelho's interactions with Lemos began online through her Twitch channel, where he was an active viewer, but over time his behavior escalated into harassment, including sending unwanted messages and making threats. Lemos had reported his actions to authorities, and a restraining order was issued against Coelho, prohibiting him from contacting or approaching her. Despite this legal protection, he continued to stalk her, including tracking her movements to her apartment. On the night of the murder, Lemos was live streaming on Twitch from her apartment, focused on gaming while interacting with her audience as usual. The setup included a camera showing her at her desk, with the door to her apartment visible in the background. At approximately 1 a.m., the live stream captured a knock on Lemos's apartment door, causing her to appear startled but pause her game to answer, possibly expecting a delivery or visitor. The Twitch footage showed her walking toward the door, out of the camera's frame, and moments later, gunshots were heard, followed by silence. The stream continued running for several minutes, capturing the empty room until it was eventually stopped, likely by moderators or the platform, after viewers reported the incident. Coelho shot Lemos multiple times with an illegally obtained pistol, striking her in the chest and head, and she died at the scene before emergency services could respond. Some viewers in the chat alerted authorities via emergency calls, while others recorded or shared clips of the stream, which spread rapidly on social media platforms before being removed by Twitch for violating content policies. On March 16, 2023, less than 24 hours after the murder, police apprehended Coelho in Vila Jaguara after tracking his movements. He was found hiding in a relative's home and surrendered without resistance, later confessing to the murder during questioning, claiming he acted out of jealousy and rejection, though he provided no coherent justification for his actions. Replay. In the frozen landscape of Ivanovka, a village near Moscow, Russia, the dark underworld of trash streaming claimed its most notorious victim when Stanislav Reshetnikov, known online as Reflay, killed his 28-year-old girlfriend Valentina Valya Grigorieva during a live stream on December 2, 2020. The incident occurred at approximately 8 p.m. MSK and was part of a disturbing trend in Russian online culture where streamers are paid by viewers to perform abusive acts. Reshetnikov was a YouTube and 2HH.HK streamer who had gained notoriety through trash streaming, a Russian online subculture where content creators perform violent or humiliating acts for viewer donations. He had built a significant following by earning money from national and international audiences for his controversial content, reportedly receiving approximately $1,000, around 75,000 RUB, from a viewer to abuse Grigorieva during the fatal live stream.
Ты чего? Валь, ты живая, нет? Блядь, ты как мертвый, блядь, Валь. Заяц, ну ты чего? Валя. Валь, блядь, ну не смеши, не... Валя, блядь.
During the live stream, watched by thousands, Reshetnikov verbally and physically assaulted Grigorieva, calling her degrading names and admitting to striking her multiple times on the head. In the most horrific moment, he dragged her outside onto a balcony in sub-zero temperatures, approximately minus 10 degrees Celsius or 14 degrees Fahrenheit, leaving her there in only her underwear for an extended period.
Что за хуйня? Какой устала? Я пошел к соседям. Валя, алло.
The live stream captured Reshetnikov attempting to revive her after bringing her lifeless body back inside, saying, "Bunny, come on, tell me something. I'm worrying. Damn, I don't feel her heartbeat. Guys, no pulse. She's pale. She is not breathing." The stream continued for approximately 2 hours after her death, showing her body on a couch covered with a blanket as Reshetnikov panicked and interacted with viewers.
У меня Вален телефон, и то он под паролем, блядь. Она пароль не сказала. Я общался с ней вот час назад.
A viewer alerted emergency services, and paramedics arrived while the stream was still active, pronouncing Grigorieva dead at the scene. A forensic examination revealed that Grigorieva died from head trauma, specifically craniocerebral trauma with cerebral hemorrhage and multiple bruises on her face and body, not hypothermia as initially assumed. Reshetnikov was arrested on December 2, 2020, and confessed to beating Grigorieva and striking her head multiple times. On April 27, 2021, the Ramensky City Court convicted Reshetnikov and sentenced him to 6 years in a maximum security prison colony for intentional infliction of grievous bodily harm, dangerous to human life, committed with the use of an object used as a weapon, resulting in the death of the victim by negligence. The case prompted Russian lawmakers to address the trash streaming trend, with Vyacheslav Volodin, Speaker of the State Duma, calling for legislation to crack down on such streams in February 2021, proposing jail terms of up to 6 years for violent acts. Raja Jackson. The world of professional wrestling collided violently with mixed martial arts on August 23, 2025, when Raja Jackson, the 25-year-old son of former UFC champion Quentin Rampage Jackson, allegedly assaulted professional wrestler Stuart Psycho Stu Smith during a wrestling match at the Knox Experience event hosted by the WWE ID-affiliated KnockX Pro Wrestling Academy. The incident occurred at 8548 Lancashire Boulevard, Sun Valley, Los Angeles, at approximately 8 p.m. PDT, and was live streamed on Jackson's Kick account. Raja Jackson was an MMA fighter with a 4-0 amateur record and a 1-1 professional record, having debuted professionally in 2023, but he had no prior professional wrestling experience. Stuart Psycho Stu Smith, 44, was an independent professional wrestler known for performing in the Southern California wrestling scene. The incident stemmed from a backstage altercation earlier in the evening, where Smith, in character, struck Jackson on the side of the head with a beer can, unaware that Jackson was not a wrestler and not part of the storyline. After apologies and discussions, it was agreed that Jackson would participate in a scripted spot during Smith's match to deliver a receipt, a wrestling term for a retaliatory act that is typically controlled. Jackson was live streaming on his Kick account from the front row, reading viewer comments and expressing agitation, saying, "I'm not playing no games." He told his audience, "They told me to hit him and just leave. Someone will pull me off of him and we'll leave. I'm telling you, I'm gonna hit him as many times as I can. Watch."
What, you don't know me?
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little... Oh!
During Smith's multi-team tag match, over an hour after the backstage incident, Smith performed a spear on an opponent, which was the cue for Jackson's scripted involvement. Jackson entered the ring, lifted Smith above his head, and slammed him onto the mat. But instead of stopping, he mounted Smith and delivered approximately 27 real punches to his face, most while Smith was unconscious or motionless.
They're shocked. I'm not too sure whether this is part of the entertainment.
The live stream captured Smith lying bloodied, with reports indicating he was choking on his own blood and teeth. Other wrestlers, including Douglas Malo, intervened, pulling Jackson away and restraining him in a corner of the ring. Smith was rushed to a hospital with serious injuries, including broken facial bones and multiple lost teeth. By August 24, 2025, Smith was reported as awake and stable, with a possible release from the hospital that day. The Los Angeles Police Department responded to the incident and took a police report, though no arrests were made that night. Kick suspended Jackson's account, stating, "Kick's community guidelines make it clear that excessive violence is not permitted. Content in breach of our guidelines is removed and users will be suspended or banned." Solomon Henderson. The hallways of Antioch High School in Nashville, Tennessee, became a scene of unthinkable horror on January 22, 2025, when 17-year-old Solomon Samad Charlie Henderson live-streamed a shooting on the Kick platform, killing 16-year-old Jocelyn Correa Escalante and injuring another student before taking his own life. The incident occurred at approximately 11:09 a.m. CST in the school's cafeteria, with Henderson firing 10 shots in 17 seconds using a 9mm Taurus G2C semi-automatic pistol. Antioch High School, part of the Metropolitan Nashville Public Schools system, serves over 2,100 students in grades 9, 12, and is located in a diverse neighborhood southeast of downtown Nashville. The school was equipped with an AI-powered weapons detection system called OmniAlert, which relied on the school's existing camera network but failed to detect Henderson's firearm due to his proximity to cameras. Henderson, born March 23, 2007, was a student at the school and an ROTC cadet, described by classmates as quiet but with a history of troubling behavior. In November 2023, child sexual abuse material was found on his electronic devices, leading to his apprehension and release to his parents with restricted internet access. On the morning of the shooting, he had been in juvenile court for a probation violation before being dropped off at school by his mother. Prior to the shooting, Henderson posted disturbing content on social media, including a message stating, "You already failed to stop what's happening." He began live streaming on Kick, capturing parts of his actions leading up to and during the shooting before the platform quickly banned the stream and removed the video. At 11:09 a.m., Henderson entered the cafeteria and confronted Jocelyn Correa Escalante, fatally shooting the 16-year-old student. He also grazed a 17-year-old male student in the arm and caused a third student to sustain a facial injury from a fall while fleeing. Henderson then turned the gun on himself, dying from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Henderson left behind a 288-page diary and a 51-page manifesto posted on Instagram before the attack, containing racist, anti-Semitic, and white supremacist rhetoric, despite Henderson being African American. The manifesto also contained praise for mass killers and references to various online personalities and political commentators. Kick issued a statement condemning the violence and confirming cooperation with law enforcement, stating, "On January 22nd, an attack occurred in Nashville, Tennessee, and was partially live-streamed. We extend our thoughts to everyone impacted by this event." Kick rapidly banned the account and removed the video. Violence has no place on Kick. Raphael Graven. The world of extreme streaming reached its most tragic conclusion on August 18, 2025, when Raphael Graven, known online as Jean Pormanov, died during a live stream on the Kick platform after enduring what appeared to be months of abuse and humiliation. The 46-year-old French streamer died at a residence in Contes, a village north of Nice, during a live stream that had been running for over 298 hours, approximately 12 days. Born on January 26, 1979, Graven was a former soldier who had risen to prominence as a streamer under the pseudonym Jean Pormanov. He began his online career in March 2020 on TikTok before transitioning to Twitch, where he amassed 669,000 followers and over 35 million views, before moving to Kick in 2023, where he became the highest viewed French streamer and the fourth most watched globally by August 2024. The marathon stream was described as a 10 days and nights of torture challenge, involving extreme physical dares, sleep deprivation, and relentless pressure. Videos showed Graven being being subjected to physical and verbal abuse, including being beaten, strangled, doused with paint or water, force-fed, and shot with paintballs. Participants were woken by disruptive methods like motorbike revving or leaf blowers, and a donation counter indicated the stream had earned approximately $42,000 from viewers. During the final moments of the live stream, Graven was seen lying on a mattress, unresponsive under a duvet. Viewers raised concerns, with one donor alerting co-streamer Owen Naruto Senazandati that Graven appeared lifeless. Senazandati threw a water bottle at Graven to check his condition, and the broadcast was cut off shortly after. An autopsy conducted on August 20th, 2025, revealed no traumatic injuries or burns that could explain Graven's death, with only minor bruises and healed lesions found. The probable cause was determined to be medical, likely cardiovascular, or toxicological, with no evidence of third-party intervention. NICE prosecutor Damian Martinelli stated the death was not traumatic in origin and not related to the intervention of another person. Clara Chapaz, France's junior minister for AI and digital technology, described the death as an absolute horror and criticized Kik for allowing months of humiliation and abuse. Youth Minister Sarah El Harry called the incident horrifying, emphasizing platforms' responsibility to regulate violent content. Kik banned all co-streamers involved in the broadcast pending the investigation and terminated its collaboration with a French social media agency. The platform conducted a complete reevaluation of its French language content and emphasized its commitment to creator safety. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more like it by clicking the suggested cards on your screen.